Is it a good idea to bring kids into this world the way that it is these days? A lot of you already have children, so you don't have to think about this. Decisions being made. But if you were just starting out today, say you're a guy or a girl in your 20s or 30s even, knowing what you know about the world and how it works and maybe where it's headed, would you bring children into this world? It's a controversial question, I know. Controversial. But I think it's an interesting question. And an important one too, especially for those who are yet to do it. And it's one of the questions that came up in a Bonversation recently, which you can access right now for free. Link in the info box below. I was chatting with a fellow from Canada named Alan Mercer. And we spoke about a lot of things. That was one topic. Probably the main topic that I thought was most important to come out of that discussion. And I would love to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Another question is, does this truth stuff actually help people? Seriously, people can spend years, even decades of their life researching and learning and what I call deprogramming, getting all this nonsense that we're taught at school and by TV and by society, getting it out of your head and realizing that you've been completely misled about so many things. Does it actually help people though? Seriously. I know the usual immediate response is, of course, JLB, of course I'm better off because I know the truth. And I'm like, good, I'm glad to hear that. In what way? In what way are you better off? And this is a question that came up when I was chatting with Peter Wright, another Bonversation that is also available. Link to that in the info box below. Are you actually better off? Are people better off looking into this stuff? I think probably this one is one of those questions where the honest answer would be, well, there are some things that I'm better off knowing. I'm glad I know that. Then there are other topics where it's like, maybe I was better off not knowing about that. Especially some of the darker topics. So you tell me in the comment section below, are you better off, honestly? Do you feel better off? If so, why? Or do you feel worse off? If so, why? Or if you think in some ways you're better off, in some ways you're worse off, can you explain? Let me know. What topics are you better off for knowing? What topics are you, maybe you think you're better off not knowing that one? There are some dark topics out there. Interestingly enough, for me, some of those topics where I'm like, man, maybe I was better off not knowing about that. Some of those darker topics relate to the child rearing process or the birthing process. How children are brought into the world, especially when it happens at hospitals. And not just once the children are born, but also before they're born. What is ultrasound really? I was chatting with a normal person a week or so ago, and if I had my time again, I wouldn't have talked to him about anything, to be honest. But somehow I found myself in this conversation. And you know what he said to me? He said, are you telling me that I had my children radiated in the womb? Almost those exact words, actually. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what the FDA says. They say that so-called ultrasound is non-ionizing radiation. You know what he said to me? He said, bullshit. And I was like, for a split second I thought, should I get this page up on my phone and show him? Like, dude, this is not my opinion. This is what the FDA says. And then I was like, nah, it's not worth it. So I just tried to move the conversation on and get out of there as soon as I could. Because what is the point? What is the point? So anyway, the point of my story is, there's a couple of Bonversations waiting for you right now. Links in the show notes below. Leave your comments if you will. Are you better off knowing this stuff? And if you were starting out fresh, if you were in your 20s or your 30s even, and you didn't already have children, would you want to bring them into this world? I can see decent arguments for either side, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. So on another overcast and dreary day here in beautiful Plovdiv, Bulgaria, it's John the Bond saying, go and check those links in the info box below. Go and check out those Bonversations waiting for you right now. Available through Podbean and Spotify and whatever other apps people use for this kind of stuff. Hope you enjoy those podcasts, and I hope that I enjoy reading your comments in the comment section below. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
It wasn't a tent. It was this magnificent thing.